Hi, I'm Lisa Barrangou, author of RealSmart Baby Food. This video will show you how to make carrot puree for baby using the RealSmart strategy. Now the RealSmart recipe for carrot puree calls for 1 1/4 pounds of fresh carrots, which we have here. The recipe also requires steaming, so you will need some type of a steamer. Now I particularly like this steamer basket because it's made of a flexible, heat-resistant silicone material which allows it to fit into a variety of pot sizes, allowing for great versatility in the kitchen, but any steamer pot will do. Now I've already added 1 to 1 1/2 inches of water into my pot and I'm bringing it to a simmer. And it's important to point out that you want the water level in your pot to remain below that of the steamer basket when it's inserted. And the reason for that is that you don't want the water at the bottom of the pot to touch your food. If the water touches the food when steaming, then water-soluble nutrients that are in it will drop down and be lost into the water. And obviously we want to retain as many nutrients as possible. So while the water is coming to a simmer, we're going to go ahead and get our carrots ready for steaming. So I'm going to trim off the greens, rinse them, peel them, and start slicing them. So as our water has come to a simmer, so we can put in our carrots carefully. We're going to pop the lid on and allow those carrots to steam for approximately 8 to 10 minutes, or just until they slightly soften and can be pierced easily with a fork. So our carrots have finished steaming, and I've let them cool just a bit so I can handle them. Now we're going to carefully take them out of the steamer pot, and we're going to transfer them into the blender to make a puree. See, the flexibility of the steamer is great for this purpose too. Now to make a puree for baby, we need to make a nice thin, smooth consistency. And for carrots, we're going to need to add in a little bit of additional water in order to achieve that. The amount of water that you're going to need to add will be dependent upon the particular batch of carrots that you're using and the water content that they contain. But for this recipe, we'll probably use somewhere between 1/2 to 3/4 cup of water. The blender I'm using here is a Vitamix blender. This is a high-speed blender that can achieve an ultra-smooth puree like no other machine can. It's really superior. Any blender or food processor should really be able to get the job done for making standard baby food purees. A little bit of water. This nice plunger here. Really get everything incorporated. So now that we have our puree, we want to freeze it into small portions for baby. Freezing is a gentle preservation method that locks in nutrients and flavor, and this is in contrast to the preservation method used to prepare commercially processed jarred baby foods, which uses very high temperatures and high pressures to process and preserve the product, and that ends up destroying nutrients and flavor. Now these freezer trays are perfect for creating and freezing small portions of baby food. Each compartment will hold 2 tablespoons worth of baby food, and that is just the right amount for baby to start eating with. So we're going to go ahead and pour the puree into this tray, and then we're going to cover the tray with plastic wrap and place it in the freezer to freeze the cubes. So once our carrot cubes are completely frozen, we can transfer them from these freezer trays into a labeled freezer storage bag. So the flexibility of these trays, which are made of silicone as well, are really great for easily dislodging these cubes. And look at these perfect cube shapes that we get here. Transfer them into our storage bag. This is a quart-size freezer storage bag. And that'll fit all the cubes that are in one of these trays easily. I'll point out that the perfect cube shapes that are produced from the freezer trays used here are what can accommodate really compact, neatly organized storage of these baby food puree cubes. It makes it a lot easier to find your cubes in the freezer and keep them organized. You want to take care to really get all the air out as much as you can anyway when you're sealing these bags, because by getting the air out, you're going to avoid freezer burn and the quality will maintain longer. So once you have transferred your cubes into a freezer storage bag, we're going to place them into a freezer storage basket alongside of other baby food puree cubes that you can create. Once you get these into the freezer, they will remain safe indefinitely as long as your freezer is maintained at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below. And their quality will maintain for at least 3 months or even longer, as long as you really take care every time you're going in and out of these bags to seal the air out as much as possible. When baby is ready to eat, you pull out individual cubes as needed, combine them if you wish to build flavorful, nutritionally balanced meals. Now by using these tools and the RealSmart strategy, you will be able to create 3 months worth of baby food, which all fits in this one freezer storage basket, which lives in your freezer, and you'll do it in 3 one-hour blocks of time. Now, in order to use the RealSmart strategy, you need 6 of these freezer trays used here. You need 1 freezer storage basket, a blender or food processor, a steamer, and other standard kitchen equipment featured in this video. And there's no reason to resort to overly processed, nutritionally inferior, void of taste jarred baby foods when making premium homemade baby food from fresh whole foods is so easy to do. All you need are the right tools and the right strategy. So happy cooking and bon appetit.